Part 33. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 321. The owner of the convenience store stuck his head out. You can come in to hide from the rain. Fu Nanli said solemnly, thank you, we will leave when the rain stops. How can sheltering from the rain be the same as sheltering from the rain under the eaves? Opposite is a flower shop. The owner quickly moved some flowers at the door into the house. In the foggy rain and fog, the delicate flowers fainted into ambiguous colors. The door opened and closed, and a crisp wind bell echoed in the air of this small coastal town in the south, and echoed in the ears of Wen Qiao and Fu Nanli. It also coincided with the closing of the nearby school. Some parents held umbrellas and held their children's hands, while some wore raincoats and rode electric vehicles to carry their children. They passed by in twos and threes. Wen Qiao thought it was a wonderful experience to hide from the rain under the eaves with him. Raising her eyes to look at the person beside her, his profile was particularly handsome in the rain and fog. She said something ignorantly in her heart. I want to stay by his side forever. The rushing rain came and went in a hurry. After listening to the sound of rain for 20 minutes, the air became fresher after the heavy rain, and I could see the lush mountains and undulating trails in the distance. Wen Qiao thought, it would be better if the time stayed in this moment. Wen Qiao stayed for 2 days, and Fu Nanli's work in Zhongcheng came to an end, so he returned to Haikan with her. As soon as I got back, the results of the college online league were announced. As expected, Wen Qiao took the first place, but no one knew that the letter C that he chose at will was Wen Qiao. Wen Qiao went to the reopening, and the league's rankings were posted on the bulletin board in the lobby of the computer building. Wen Qiao saw that C ranked first, Yao Heng was second. It was Yao Heng, her cousin Su Ying, and some of Yao Heng's fans who were surrounded by the propaganda column. How is that possible? Su Ying was full of righteous indignation. There must be something wrong. How could Yao Heng not be the first? Yao Heng's face was pale. He showed extraordinary talent in computing since he was a child, and he was praised all the way. This is the first time I've been stumped. No, to be precise, it was the second time. At the last wedding of Su Ying's brother, he had already lost face once. His eyes focused on the casual name C. Who is this C? Many people took the exam anonymously. He couldn't tell the difference for a while, but the face of the girl named Wen Qiao flashed in his mind. He shook his head, no. It couldn't be her. His good brothers on the side comforted him, the first place must be a coincidence. In terms of real power, you must be the first. We will have a National League game in the second half of the year. When that time comes, we will win the first place again, and let the lucky second. Let's see who is the real winner. There was a beverage vending machine on the side. Wen Qiao scanned the code and bought a bottle of peach soda. With a bang, the beverage smashed into the outlet, scaring the people in front of the billboard to look back. Wen Qiao bent down to pick up the drink, unscrewed it and took a sip, looking at those people with an innocent expression. Why are you looking at me? Su Ying walked over aggressively. What are you doing here? See how far you are at the bottom. Wen Qiao, I don't care if I'm at the bottom or not, but you claim every day how good your boyfriend is. I'm just here to see if he's number one this time. Saying that, she walked to the propaganda column and pointed at C. Ah, this person is number one, not Yao Heng's number one. After speaking, he patted Yao Heng on the shoulder. Dude, you have to work hard. Su Ying gritted her teeth. Even if you don't win the championship, Yao Heng is the second place, and he's very good, right? Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 322. Wen Qiao took time to look at her. Do you know who is our country's first Olympic gold medalist? Su Haifeng. Then who is the second place in the project he participated in, do you know? Su Ying was at a loss for words. Wen Qiao shrugged, look, everyone only remembers the first place. Who will remember the second place? Your boyfriend's second place and last to last place, from the outside, have the same meaning. Of course, Wen Qiao only said this to attack Su Ying. Su Ying jumped, you deserve to say Yao Hong too. Wen Qiao held her shoulders, wait until he returns to number 1, and then hesitantly in front of me, et. After finishing speaking, Su Ying stomped her feet in anger. Yao Hong gritted his teeth, I will definitely come first. Wen Qiao outside heard it, smiled and whispered, with me here, you can always be the second child of 10,000 years. She still has this confidence. And as soon as she entered the dormitory, Lu Yuyu told her good news, Qiao, you won the first place in the campus talent competition that you participated in some time ago. Oh, that competition was the name that Lu Yuyu signed up for her, and she went to participate in a days. Anyway, there were Su Lu and Zhao Tong in the same period, but Zhuang Yan didn't participate. I heard that I was very depressed recently and couldn't bring up any activities. Interest. Lu Yuyu Chunxiao held a commendation meeting for her in the dormitory. Lin Xiang was pulled and picked up the mouse, and solemnly handed it to Wen Qiao. The jury specially awarded Wen Qiao the first prize honor. Wen Qiao could only cooperate, thank you for the jury's appreciation, thank you my family, and thank my friends for their support. Lu Yuyu clapped her hands, let's go, I have to go out and have a good meal to celebrate today. As soon as they left the dormitory, they met Zhao Tong and Su Lu. Lu Yuyu is not belligerent, Zhao Tong has always been belligerent. Before Lu Yuyu said a word, Zhao Tong spoke first, what are you proud of? Isn't it the first prize for campus talent? 502 all. Who is proud? Zhao Tong added, what is the first prize for campus talent? We Lulu participated in the now very popular variety show Star Talk Show, and each episode has nearly 100 million webcasts. Who is more powerful? Let's just say it. Su Lu's eyes were also a little smug. She receives many private messages every day inviting her to participate in various variety shows or self-media interviews. She is so eager to appear in front of the camera so much that she forgets that her current fame and fortune are all obtained by cheating. She took a variety show privately and went to participate in the recording. When participating in the show, the host asked her to improvise a piece of music on the piano. Su Lu also did it. She thinks she did a good job. After the broadcast, it should attract a lot of fans to her. So she scoffed at Wen Qiao winning the first prize of the campus for a pediatric award. Lu Yuyu snorted coldly, you can participate, you don't need to run up to us to show off your strength. Do you know how many programs we Qiao have turned down? This is not Lu Yuyu's bragging, because Shang Fan's Hang has spared no effort to promote teacher Mu Yu, and many shows in the entertainment industry wanted to invite Wen Qiao to appear, but Wen Qiao pushed them all. She doesn't want to be a star, she just wants to be the boss behind the scenes. Zhao Tong never forgets his title as a master, jumping up and down, there is no program, will you put less money on your face? You will really raise your worth. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 323. Lu Yuyu was still arguing with her, but when Qiao pulled her back, aren't you thirsty? Aren't you hungry? What can you gain from arguing with such a person other than wasting your saliva and energy? Go and eat. Wen Qiao knew Su Lu's strength. The more she appeared in front of the camera, the easier it was for her shortcomings to be exposed. Seeing that she is smug now, she may expose her shortness in a few days. What are you arguing about with her? But in vain. Sure enough, within a few days, the variety show was broadcast. Sulu expected it, but the audience didn't buy it. When Wen Qiao returned to the dormitory, Lu Yuyu and Chen Xiao were discussing Sulu's affairs enthusiastically. Lu Yuyu shook her head while looking at her phone. Didn't she expose herself? Chen Xiao, it's also said on the internet that the 2 songs she composed on the show were too bland, not as wonderful and talented as the ones she composed for Chen Mu. Lu Yuyu tooted and said, I saw that she scolded her a few days ago, participated in a variety show, and looked down on our Chiao Chiao Campus Awards, and her last show attracted so many doubts. Why doesn't she know how to keep a low profile? Is it not good to be a low-key, envied and admired talented woman, make a fortune in silence, and have a good reputation? Sulu wanted everything, but in the end, she couldn't get anything. As soon as Wen Qiao entered, Lu Yuyu told her all the comments on the internet. Wen Qiao looked at the comments under the variety show and let out a light sigh. As expected, several songs signed by Sulu were ghostwriting. Seeing her rise from a tall building, seeing her banqueting guests, and seeing her tall building collapse. I don't know who brought the rhythm online, saying that Sulu's songs were ghostwritten. Sulu panicked now. She never imagined that she had participated in a variety show with such a beautiful appearance and was honored as Teacher Sue by the host and the staff of the show. The public opinion after the show was broadcast is no longer within her control. She was very flustered, because Jiaxing Entertainment, who said she wanted to help her pay the liquidated damages to dig her past, saw that she was caught in the public opinion turmoil, and did not contact her again. Jiaxing was naturally interested in her fame and wanted to dig this cash cow. But now it seems that the cash cow is just packaged by her company, and it's all fake. Merchants value profits and are realistic. As soon as they saw her declining trend, they immediately abandoned her. And the company that originally packaged her, Yuhua Media, sent her a letter of understanding. The low-hanging fruit of fame and fortune is about to disappear. Sulu was completely panicked. How could this happen? Everything started to collapse, and she wanted to turn the tide, but she had enough energy. She's going crazy. When Sulu found Sister Lee, she regretted it as soon as she met her and said, Sister Lee, I know I'm wrong. Sister Lee had talked to her a lot in the past. After all, seeing that she was young and had no social experience, she felt that her knowledge was too short. But now, she doesn't need to give a good face to an abandoned child. I told you repeatedly, don't participate in any variety shows and interviews. You breached the contract first. The boss above is kind and didn't ask you for any liquidated damages, but our boss doesn't like bad behavior, so, sign it. Sulu looked at the contract termination and said anxiously, understood, I promise that I will be obedient in the future, and I will never go against the boss's wishes again. Can you help me talk to me? Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 324. Understanding shrugs, the boss said, your ambition is too big, we can't control you, you can find another way. Sulu wanted to say something, but Sister Lee knocked on the contract, sign it quickly, and if you drag on, you will have to pay the liquidated damages. The most important point of a chess piece is to be obedient. Sulu had no choice but to sign the contract with a sad face. Sister Lee supported her chin with one hand and tapped her fingers lightly on the table. Who do you think the rhythm on the internet says your songs are ghost writing? Sulu's face was ashen, which pot could not be opened and raised. Obviously she composed the music, and then let others modify it. She at least contributed a part of her strength, right? Seeing that she didn't say a word, Sister Lee said again, the boss asked people to do this. Sulu was shocked, what did you say? The boss doesn't like disobedient people. If you mess up his plan, he will naturally take back the investment he made in you. As a talented woman, he will definitely take it back. Sulu gritted her teeth. Who is the boss? Why does he support me? This is the end of the matter. Let me tell you straight, the only purpose of holding you is to check and balance Wen Qiao, and I don't want Wen Qiao to be too limelight. Sulu collapsed in disbelief. What did you say? Sister Li put away the contract termination letter in front of her. Okay, little girl, my sister advises you, don't fight against capital, you are very weak alone, you are acting like a cocoon by doing this, you know. Who is he? Sister Li raised her eyebrows. What is he? Why doesn't he want Wen Qiao to be too popular? Who is that person? Sister Li, I don't know. There are people behind the boss. It's not the boss's intention. Don't ask too much. If you are willing to sign the contract cancellation letter, the online comments will gradually disappear, so be safe. Sister Li carried her bag and left. Sulu sat alone in the cafe. The sun was shining outside, but her heart was like falling into the hell of Jialuo, and she couldn't stop shaking. Her beauty was too short-lived to be taken away mercilessly, and she didn't even have room to struggle. How cruel is the world to her? What made her despair the most was that she was just a pawn used by others to deal with Wen Qiao. At best, she was an NPC, a tool person. The more she thought about it, the more annoyed she became. Why is she Wen Qiao? When Sulu was caught in the fraud scandal, Wen Qiao didn't pay attention to her at all. She didn't fall into trouble, she didn't take advantage of others' danger, she just didn't feel it. Sulu can't get into her eyes at all now, she still has a lot of things to do, and not giving her a wink is her biggest contempt for Sulu. Sulu? She doesn't deserve it? She started looking around for the right esports coach. After Xiao Kai and the others finished their exams, she hoped that the team would be formed and the company started. The most important thing was the coach, and secondly, an experienced professional manager. There are 3 major clubs in Haikan, CG, FW, and DC. The salary of each coach is astronomical for Wen Qiao. She must have no money to poach people. Some of the other coaches were a little bit inexperienced. They boasted in the guild forum every day how good they were when they led the team, but they only talked about it. The copyright fee for the new quarter is in hand, and Wen Qiao currently has less than 1 million in her account, and the rest of the money is given to her by Fu Nanli. She didn't want to move. What Wen Qiao likes most is Zhong Rui, the coach of CG. He led CG to win the PUBG Global Finals, S-Series, the MSI Mid-Season Championship, the Intercontinental Championship and the All-Star Championship. This is a Grand Slam coach. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 325. Wen Qiao thought, if you want to invite the best one, let's try out what his salary is. Wen Qiao first asked Wen Qi, what is the annual salary of Zhong Rui, the CG coach? Wen Qi raised his eyebrows. Why are you asking this? After all, my brother will be working in this field in the future, and I want to know more about it. Wen Qi, Zhong Rui is the best coach in Haikan and even in China. He earns 10 million a year. The Luo Yingluo, who has 25,800,000 to look down on me, also has an annual income of 10 million, and has a luxury supercar. Wen Qiao's heart sank. So profitable. What do you think? Even so, Wen Qiao still wanted to try Zhong Rui. She registered a company called AF Esports Club, and then called Zhong Rui in the name of the AF owner, wanting to talk to him about cooperation. It was an appointment. Wen Qiao told Lu Yuyu about starting a company. As long as she told her, your mouth would be tight. She asked Lu Yuyu to dress up as her secretary. Lu Yuyu even got herself a very office lady suit, her hair was meticulously combed, and she even brought Dong Yao over to be Wen Qiao's driver. This person is very bad. He obviously knows how to drive. Last time he went to Shaocheng, he said that he couldn't drive. I'll get you a driver to look professional. The car is an Audi A8 from Lu Yuyu's house, which is really decent. Meeting with Zhong Rui at a hotel with a garden, she and Zhong Rui arrived almost at the same time. Lu Yuyu hurriedly got out of the car, opened the door for Wen Qiao, and said respectfully, "Mr. Wen." Wen Qiao almost couldn't help laughing. Yo-Yo is really a talent. Lu Yuyu pinched her. "Don't laugh, Zhong Rui is getting out of the car." Wen Qiao took a breath, straightened his sleeves, got out of the car. It was raining lightly outside. Dong Yao responded to Lu Yuyu's request, took a large black umbrella and handed it to Lu Yuyu. Lu Yuyu immediately opened the umbrella to support Wen Qiao on. A few people walked to the door of the restaurant. Wen Qiao saw the coach named Zhong Rui, who was about 40. He looked a little shrewd and looked at him. "Is it Coach Zhong?" Zhong Rui's eyes immediately showed a smile. "You are, President Wen." Wen Qiao said yes with a smile. Zhong Rui's eyes were a little surprised. The girl looked too young, but she quickly recovered. "There are too many rich second-generation esports players. I'm Zhong Rui." "Hello, Coach Zhong, let's go in and talk." The two of them were seated. Dong Yao was waiting outside, and Lu Yuyu sat beside Wen Qiao with the words on his face, "I will support my family's President Wen." Wen Qiao said roughly, "I have a few rookies under my team, who have not only won the first place in the domestic service area, but also often won the first place in the handbak, but I have no experience in professional competitions, so I want to ask Coach Zhong. Are you interested?" Zhong Rui raised his eyebrows and said, "Can I see the data?" Lu Yuyu immediately took out the various achievements of Wenqi, Xiaobo, Dingai and the three of them in the past 2 years from the file bag, including their usual playing and various achievements on the live broadcast platform. Zhong Rui took the information and looked at it carefully. Wen Qiao added, "I think they are all potential players. Not only her family Ziokai, but Xiaobai and Dinghai are also among the best, although they are often verbally run on by Wenqi." Zhong Rui nodded, put down the documents, and looked directly at Wen Qiao. "I don't know how much money your family gave you to build this AF club." Money is an unavoidable topic. Wen Qiao said truthfully, "Coach Zhong, I may not be able to pay you more than CG within 2 years. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me." Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 326. Coach Zhong, who was originally very warm and kind, had a slightly gloomy face. He thought he was the second generation of the top rich, but he seemed to be a slap in the face. "So how much can Miss Wen pay me?" Wen Qiao reported a number truthfully, 6 million a year. "After 2 years, I can pay Coach Zhong 13 million a year." She has confidence in Wen Kai's strength. Within 2 years, she will definitely win the championship of the international finals. At that time, she will be able to attract sponsors, have income, and pay high wages to coaches. Zhong Rui smiled a little teasingly, "Little girl, you are too idealistic, you are obviously trying to be a white wolf with empty gloves. I have a thriving company, and I don't want my annual salary of tens of millions, so I came to you, a newly established company, a small workshop with an uncertain future. What do you think I want?" Although Wen Qiao doesn't have much money, he has a lot of momentum. "I think our small workshop will become a more powerful club than CG, and it will become the most powerful club in the country." Zhong Rui's eyes were a little contemptuous. "Little girl, someone who came here told you that if you don't have ambitions, you will definitely succeed. Many people start their own businesses and die on the beach. Without certain financial support, you can't do it." Wen Qiao also wanted to fight for it, My players once shot the headshot of CG's falling shadow. Zhong Rui chuckled, so what? Luo Ying is a human, but he is not a real god. There will always be times when he is negligent. It is not that if Luo Ying can be shot in the head, he will definitely become the next Luo Ying. Little girl, don't daydream, you have to be self-aware. After speaking, get up and go out. Lu Yuyu gritted his teeth, power eyes. Wen Qiao pressed her shoulder, don't blame him, how could he turn to me to take high risks with a high salary? It's human nature. Then what do you do? Wen Qiao carefully looked at Wen Qi and their files. If Zhong Rui didn't take over, there would always be someone else. Wen Kai's skills are very high, they just need an experienced coach to lead them, instruct them, and take them to review the game. Without Zhong Rui, there will be Wang Rui, there will be Li Rui, and she will definitely find a good coach. Lu Yuyu's heart was broken, why don't you talk to Master Fu? He will definitely invite you a better coach than Zhong Rui, and go to Korea. Wen Qiao shook his head, be strict with me, I can't rely on Fu Nanli for everything, I owe him a lot, he bought the Zhuzhong Middle School for my brother and spent a lot of money, I also want to make money slowly after starting the club myself, slowly repay him. She does a lot of things just to be a good person, to follow in Fu Nanli's footsteps, to stand side by side with him at the top, not to become a high-flying flower that can only depend on him. Wen Qiao shook Lu Yuyu's hand, although there are a few words on the internet, I still want to say, Yo-Yo, our journey should be the sea of stars. Lu Yuyu clenched his fist, Jojo, I believe in you, you can definitely become capital yourself, and I will always be behind you as your helmsman. That Zhong Rui will definitely regret it in the future. Wen Qiao nodded, but he didn't know what to do. The slogan is shouted, but what about strength? She doesn't know anything about the esports industry, and if she can't hire a good coach, it's just a mess of sand, and it will be scattered without the wind blowing. Back at night, Wen Qiao frowned. When Mo asked her what was wrong, Wen Qiao whispered, I want to ask Zhong Rui from CG to be a coach for Zhao and the others, but they didn't agree. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 327. Wenmer was instantly infected by her emotions. Wen Qiao touched his head, it's all right, sister can solve it, don't worry about it. During dinner, Xiaobai and Ding Hai stayed with them. The meal cooked by Uncle Ji was very satisfying for several people. Xiaobai held the chicken paw and said, Brother Qi, do you know Sea King? Sea King, Wen Qiao answered casually. Wen Qi spit out a bone, we are a god in the esports circle, because his English name is Poseidon, which is the same name as Aquaman, so we all call him Aquaman. Before CG, the strongest club was VG, Aquaman was their coach, he led VG to win the championship of all competitions, and then when all the clubs wanted to poach him, he gave up. I heard that he was a rich second generation, lazy, and found new hobbies and traveled around the world. The world is gone. What does it look like? Wen Qiao was even more curious. Wen Qi shook his head, no one has seen him except the VG club. Regular competition, the coach is not present. I didn't show up. I heard that when VG won the international championship, he watched the old man play cards in the small mahjong hall. Wen Qiao thought, this person is really weird. In the evening, she received an email saying that she wanted to join AF as a coach. In the past 2 days, she has received a lot of similar emails every day. Just eat and pack. Winko. No salary required? That strength shouldn't be enough. I ignored this email. When Fu Nanli came to her the next day, he saw her face solemn and asked her what was wrong. Wen Qiao smiled, because of the grade test, I'm a little tired recently. Fu Nanli said, in the afternoon, Zhong Chen will bid for the auction. Come with me. When will you be back? Come back tomorrow night, don't delay your class on Monday. It is good. This time, Fu Chuan was also there. When he saw Wen Qiao, Fu Chuan was obviously a little surprised. This kind of bidding activity for large-scale engineering projects is very important, and there are certain business secrets. Nan Li actually brought Wen Qiao. In the waiting room, when Wen Qiao went to the bathroom, Fu Chuan said bluntly, "Do you want to take her with you?" Fu Nanli sat with her long legs folded, and gave Fu Chuan a stern glance with inexplicable doting in her tone. She is smart and has good math scores, which will give her a lot of knowledge, and she will not be restricted to only working in the music industry in the future. Wanting to cultivate her children's ability in business, he likes a person and never treats the other person as a canary. He hopes that his child is strong enough and she has that kind of potential. Fu Chuan thought, the young master is deep enough to not know the disciples of the church and starve the master to death? Aren't you afraid that the little girl is a white-eyed wolf and turns around to deal with him? What more did he want to say? Wen Qiao came back, and Fu Chuan said, "I'll go next door, so I won't disturb you." Wen Qiao sat next to Fu Nanli, wearing headphones, and listened to two passages of Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker and Swan Lake. Although she plays the pipa, she pays attention to both Chinese and Western music. She not only hopes for folk music to be promoted, I hope that Chinese and Western music can be integrated, and music should have no borders. Fu Nanli took off an earphone from her ear, put it in his ear, and listened with Wen Qiao. After a while, the two boarded the plane together. The journey was not long. Wen Qiao and Fu Nanli sat in business class and the plane took off. Fu Nanli suddenly remembered something. Ask Wen Qiao, "Are you born on October 27th?" Wen Qiao nodded, "Yes." Fu Nanli held her hand and played with her tender, boneless fingers. "That is, on October 27th, when I was 9 years old, you were born." Fu Nanli looked out the window. "The day you were born, October 27th, my mother sent me to study abroad. I was on a plane to the UK that day. I remember clearly that it was sunny and cloudless. When his father passed away, his life was like falling into a quagmire. Maybe everything is predestined. His Jojo was here to redeem his soul. The 8th shift is over, ask for a monthly pass, ask for a recommendation ticket. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me." Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 328. Do you remember clearly? Wen Qiao's heart trembled. Fu Nanli clenched her hand. "I remember this clearly, but I don't remember anything else, because my father passed away at that time." Wen Qiao felt that life was really amazing. Maybe when she was born, the plane he took just passed over the hospital where she was born. One second she was fascinated by the fate of her life, and the next second she fell asleep leaning on Fu Nanli. In fact, these 2 days I have been worrying about how to recruit for her AF club, and I can't sleep at night. Now that I am near Fu Nanli, I feel at ease and sleepy. When I got to Zhongcheng, I went directly to the guild hall where I bid about land price, demolition, contact and communication with government departments, and the related principles of checking and balancing with peers. Fu Nanli told her with simple and easy to understand principles. Wen Qiao is smart and knows everything. This trip has brought a lot of new knowledge to the real estate industry. In the end, as expected, Zhongying Company, a subsidiary of Zhonghuan, won the bid and won the land. The follow-up matters were handled by Fu Chuan and Cao Jingchun, the general manager of Zhongying, and the group went to a Cantonese restaurant for dinner. The dishes Fu Chuan ordered, such as money belly with assorted sauce, Hong Kong oyster abalone, braised pigeon, nostalgic water chestnut cake, and quicksand buns with abalone sauce, are all Cantonese specialties. Wen Qiao gave Fu Chuan a thoughtful look. She felt a little strange, as if Fu Nanli was closer to Fu Cheng before, because Fu Cheng was good at talking and Fu Chuan was taciturn. But such an important real estate business came with Fu Chuan. When did he start to trust Fu Chuan so much? Even if Fu Zhang is exposed, and now he is in jail, it cannot prove that Fu Chuan must be reliable. But Fu Nanli is black and wise in the business world, and she won't talk too much. Wen Qiao always felt that everyone's attention was on her when the senior management of Zhongning Company ate together. What she didn't know was that this young master had been here a few times before, and when he came back to the top, let alone eating, these high-level officials in Zhongning wanted to look at him more, but it was an extravagant hope. Watching him speak softly to the little girl beside him now, how can he look like he was so indifferent to people who were thousands of miles away? Everyone finds it strange. Cao Jingchun raised a wine glass to toast the young master, just as Fu Nanli and Wen Qiao were sitting together. Wen Qiao hurriedly raised the wine glass with juice. Fu Nanli glanced at Wen Qiao and could only cooperate with her. He raised his hand slowly, picked up the cup, and slanted the cup towards Cao Jingchun with Wen Qiao very respectfully. Cao Jingchun was flattered. The young master is really different. Wen Qiao gained a lot from this trip, and Fu Nanli taught her almost every step of the way about running a business and various methods and experiences under the control of those in positions of power. Fu Nan treated her not only as her boyfriend, but also as a good teacher. He taught her how to fish without reservation. After Wen Qiao returned to Haikan, she went to her AF club. The decoration of the house is good in all aspects, and she also slowly purchased the equipment after asking Wen Qi from time to time. PUBG has 4 rows, 4 regular players and at least 2 alternates. Xiaobai, Dingai, and her family Ziokai are all top experts. There are still 3 players missing. The most important thing is, there is no coach. Lu Yuyu gave her a list. Yu Shu's younger brother, I heard that he is very high level, so he can form a team of 4 with Wen Qi and the others. Let's try it out first. She said that the level is high. Is it really high, or did she add a filter of relatives and friends? I'll ask Yu Shu to bring him here in a while. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me. The boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 329. Wen Qiao pressed his eyebrows. The worry is that there is no coach. As soon as the voice fell, the doorbell outside the yard rang. Wen Qiao looked up and saw a tall man standing at the door. Looking from a distance, he didn't recognize him. She walked quickly to the gate of the yard, opened them, and looked at the man up and down. He is in his 30s, wearing a peaked cap, a military green jacket, a hiking bag on his back, hiking shoes on his feet, and a shaggy beard. Under the green porch, the man smiled at her. Who are you looking for? The man avoided her and walked inside, as if entering his own house. Look for the boss of AF. Wen Qiao closed the door and turned around to follow the man's footsteps. I am. Who are you? After entering the house, the man put down his mountaineering bag, threw it on the ground. The dust rose up. Lu Yuyu reached out and waved in front of his nose. Didn't I send you an email? I'm here to coach AF. After saying that, he took off the gloves on his hands, but it was also dusty. Wen Qiao felt that he could sweep 2 pounds of dust off his body, but he didn't know where it came from. I've received a lot of emails. I don't know who the gentleman is. The man looked around, walked to the water dispenser, took a disposable paper cup from the cabinet below, took a cup of cold water, and drank it. Lu Yuyu leaned beside Wen Qiao and whispered, "Take this place as your own home, this uncle is a little too familiar." The man drank 3 glasses of water in a row, and then let out a comfortable sigh, then found a sofa and sat on it lazily. The one who doesn't want salary, the one who covers food and shelter. Lu Yu's eyes widened suddenly. No salary, food, and housing? Then your level is definitely not good, although we Chiao are young, but we also want to be the best club. Uncle, if you really have nowhere to go, I can help you, but please don't come to us to sabotage, okay? Wen Qiao looked at the disheveled uncle calmly, but did not speak. The man scratched his head. Is there anything to eat? I'm a little hungry. Lu Yu raised her voice. Are you here to be a coach or a foodie? Why do you need to drink and eat when you enter the door? Wen Qiao grabbed Lu Yu. Help him order a takeaway. Lu Yu's face was huh. What do you want to eat? Miscellaneous sauce noodles will do, I don't choose. Yu, help him order miscellaneous sauce noodles, and then see if there is any fried pork chops to order. Lu Yu was so angry that she wanted to hit someone. While Lu Yu was ordering takeout, Wen Qiao sat opposite the man. What's your name? And I don't know how strong you are. I spent millions to get the club, so I should ask. You can call me Brother Dong. Wen Qiao looked at him with a smile. Which winter? Poseidon's winter. The man smiled and said, what are you talking about? What Sea King? What Poseidon? Winter in winter. Wen Qiao nodded. Okay, Brother Dong, how is your strength? Have you led the club to win any awards? Our club is not meant to be a little trouble, I still have certain goals. Brother Dong propped his chin. The strength should still be good. When you bring the players over, I'll give you a field drill, won't you know? I don't remember much about the award or not. Lu Yu ran over again. It's a lot of talk, I don't remember it. If you can't pass it, you can't pass it, and it's not ashamed. Don't slap your face as a fat man. Amnesiac Bigshot remembers only me, the boss lost his memory and only remembers me. Author, Ding Jiashu. Chapter 330. Brother Dong smiled. Is the little girl a cannonball? Why do you like bombing so much? Lu Yu, a rank 10 player of the mouth gun, was actually choked by this man. If you do this again, I won't give you takeout. Brother Dong, isn't it already? The takeaway brother should be on his way, right? Then I can also cancel the order. Aren't you wasting food? It's not good. Lu Yu was so angry that she pulled her claws aside and pulled Wen Qiao aside. I don't think this person has any skills. He is like a liar who cheats and eats. Don't recruit him. Wen Qiao glanced back at Brother Dong, and patted Lu Yu's hand. Try it first. Lu Yu lost her face. Ah. Do you really want to try? Well, when the time comes, Wen Qi and I said that this club was opened by a relative of your family abroad. Don't you leak it? Do not worry. After the takeout came, Brother Dong devoured it, then packed the lunchbox and some duck bones, and was about to throw it in the trash when Lu Yu stopped him. This Brother Dong seems to have not lived in Haikan for a long time. We are in Haikan. Garbage classification has been implemented. Duck bones are wet garbage, these boxes are dry garbage, please separate them. Brother Dong has a good temper, it's a good thing to protect the environment. After sorting the garbage, Brother Dong said again, is there a bathroom or something? I'll take a shower and get a room for me to sleep in. Lu Yu put her hands around her chest and hummed, I really take myself as a grandfather. Wen Qiao has a good attitude. Currently the third floor is the living area. There are several bedrooms, all with their own bathrooms. I'll lead you up and you can choose one. Lu Yu widened her eyes and said in a low voice, Qiao, are you too used to this liar? Wen Qiao smiled and whispered, Yu, stop talking, I'll lead him up. The office building is spacious and clean, the decoration is high-end and simple, and the iron gray color is visually comfortable. Brother Dong didn't pick it, and just pointed to a bedroom. Just here, I will sleep for a while after taking a shower, and call me if I have something. Wen Qiao nodded, that's okay, Brother Dong, you can stay here first. There are no other staff at the moment. You can also look at the house and equipment for us. Brother Dong gave an okay gesture. Wen Qiao was about to leave when Brother Dong turned around and said, "Your eyes are so beautiful." Lu Yuyu hugged Wen Qiao and looked at him defensively. She already has a boyfriend, and she's the top of the class, so don't think otherwise. Brother Dong snorted softly, "I can give birth to a girl as big as you, just a few years older. You think too much." Lu Yuyu hugged Wen Qiao and walked out of the office building. "Just stay like this." Wen Qiao put his hands in his pockets and shrugged, "Well, try it out, maybe you'll hit the treasure." "You are too optimistic." The next day, Wen Qiao led Wen Qi, Xiaobo, Dingai and the three to the AF club, and Lu Yuyu, the acting expert, told the three teenagers about the establishment of AF by her relatives, and no one doubted the authenticity of the incident. When the three saw Brother Dong was wearing pajamas, sandals and slippers, with a bird's nest head on his head, sleepy eyes. His beard was shaved by him. Looking at it like this, he was at most 30 years old, and he looked pretty good. Ding Hai and Xiaobai doubted his professionalism, but Wen Qi felt that it was a mule or a horse who came out to roam. After a while, Yu Shu's younger brother Yu Zhan also came. The four of them formed 4 rows and played a game.